What is awareness? Murdo MacDonald-Bayne. Set your heart on the higher talents, and yet I will go on to show you a still higher path. 1 Corinthians 12:31. The majority of people talk so ignorantly of that which is within. Do we not talk of that which is within as something that is separate from ourselves? So we create an image of that which is within. But that which is within is not an image, it is not an idea nor a belief. Now, an image, an idea, a belief is self-created, so we create an image, an idea, or a belief in a God according to our own standards, each having a God of his own, separate and distinct from the other and certainly separate and distinct from ourselves. Look into your minds and you will see that this is so. Then this thing within is worthless to you, it has no more power than an image, an idea, a belief which has no power of its own, only the power you give to it. Therefore your God is a relative God, and what is relative has no power at all. Therefore your God is a false God. The prophet, seeing the truth, says, "Thou shalt not have an image before me." Therefore an image in the mind is just as false as an image of stone or wood or any other kind of image which the majority worship at a shrine that is outside themselves. What I want to do in this letter is to show you the falseness of an image, a belief, or an idea of reality. Without this understanding there can be no love, no freedom, no relationship with one another, only an isolation which we build up through our ignorance of the truth of our being. Those who are always talking about the truth and have no awareness of being are in the same position as those who know nothing at all about truth. It is only when we begin to know the process of thought, images, and ideas do we find that which is beyond, then you will know yourself to be now. This being is a continuous conscious renewal of life itself. When you know yourself to be which is not an image of that which is within, there is awareness. This awareness is not a thought, nor an image nor an idea, it is not something apart from yourself. I cannot put it into words, to put it into words would make it relative, that is why I cannot tell you what it is, even while you are reading this you are trying to make an image of it. But if you can stop your thought process you will find that which is beyond your thought process, you will begin to understand. Your thinking or thought process arises from memory and experience. You can only think about what you know, your experiences, your hopes, your ideas, your memories, etc. But you cannot think about that which you do not know. Therefore when you stop thinking and speculating about that which is beyond, awareness comes in the silence of the mind. This then is the real you, that is eternal and ever present, but immediately you begin to think about it, don't you see you make it relative again? It becomes an image, an idea in the mind. Life is serious, life is very earnest. It is only the empty-headed and the dull at heart who are trivial, and if you are bored with the serious things of life it indicates your immaturity. Life and death is a question with which everyone is concerned, no matter who they are, from kings and queens down to the most humble in the land. One may be a high official of the church or of the nation or of the world with titles, wealth, position, and a red carpet, etc., but there is the inevitable end of it all, physical death. So most people are desirous of a continuity not of life itself but of the relative world, but physical death puts an end to it. Do you understand what I mean now by the relative? Unless we can have true values we are lost in the relative, all our thought processes will not discover the real. So the problem is how to have continuity in spite of death. Now you want an assurance from me. If I do not assure you, you go to someone else or to your books or to the various other forms of distraction for an escape. This is the eternal problem that eludes the mind, and because the minds of the majority are clogged with images and ideas and beliefs the awareness of reality is submerged, so the task is to free reality from images, ideas, and beliefs that clog the mind. These images are the prison walls that we create for ourselves. The only escape is to discern them, and all that is in the mind before we can understand what it is, but few have the capacity to do so. Yet it must be done by yourself and yourself alone before freedom comes, and when you are free from all that hinders the expression of reality, there is awareness, the real self is revealed through awareness. Your real self is also within every other self, for there is no separation in reality. I am in you, you are in me, and we are in the Father and I are one. This wisdom can only come when the outer self has dissolved away with all its appendages of hate, envy, greed, and superstition. This self is the foundation of separation, which is false, having no existence in reality. Now, when you try to free some people, they only create more images of themselves as this and that. It is that which creates the image that is real. Consciousness is creative, consciousness is cause. And consciousness alone has awareness, but you cannot discern or analyze consciousness, it always recedes, and what you are analyzing or discerning is relative. An image has no awareness, has it? Images change, do they not? And the point is lost again. It is not by thought process that reality is reached, but through deep discernment of that which is not reality. Then the realization of your awareness, your real self, takes place. Now, do not try and make an image of it, because it is not an image. It is yourself, the real you. I am the life, the Father and I are one. This is not an image in my mind, but a complete realization of my oneness with the Father. When you analyze anything, you create images about it, but what you analyze or create images about is relative and not reality. Images are of the mind, but reality is beyond mind. What is in the mind has a beginning and an ending, but reality is eternal and ever-present. Yet images do not bind you if you are ready to change them at any moment, when new knowledge comes along. But images have no power of their own, but will bind you when you believe in them. Images, ideas, and beliefs will die and fade away, but that which creates remains eternally and ever-present. You can go on analyzing till doomsday, but that will not lead to the real, because you will be caught up in your analysis. In discerning the false, we must not be caught up in that discernment, but be able to stand aside and watch the process taking place. Therefore, to be aware is not to have an image of yourself, but a realization of your true self and not a separate self. This comes only when you have eliminated all images, ideas, and beliefs in a God outside yourselves. Creativeness, which is myself, is never separated from the mighty intelligence which is behind all creation. It is my active partner with a knowing how, outpicturing what I am aware of. This is creation. Creator and creation are not separate, the cause and effect are one. When we see the effect, we know the cause, and when we are aware of the cause, we know what the effect is going to be. This is the self-revealing process of reality. It fulfills the direction of the consciousness, and the consciousness of man can be none other than the consciousness of God, God being omnipresent and omnipotent and omniscient. Therefore the universe is ready to fulfill what you are aware of. Whatsoever I ask of the Father, he will do so unto me. No one knows what electricity is, but we know that it is, for we see the manifestation of electricity in the form of power, also in the form of lights, millions of them in the city, but only one electricity behind them all. This electricity responds to our direction when we follow out its law of operation. Here we see an intelligence in action which is automatic in nature when we act on the law upon which it operates. This is the universal intelligence in which we exist, and we consciously or unconsciously direct this mighty power into operation, for and against us according to our understanding. Is it not necessary then to know that which is false, so that our consciousness will not be caught up in reaction to effects external to ourselves? We know that we cannot destroy matter, we also know that we cannot destroy energy, but we can direct it so that it can transform matter. We learn that the mighty intelligence is automatic and responds to the direction of the consciousness. When you are consciously creative, the intelligence automatically outpictures the creation. Yet the form can be transformed through a change in consciousness in regard to it. When awareness of the self is realized, things no longer matter very much. Conflicts which were once a reality to you no longer exist now. For the real self expresses itself in love, wisdom, and power, and is capable of solving all problems. Love never disappears. As for prophesying, it will be superseded. As for tongues, they will cease. As for knowledge, it will be superseded. For we only know bit by bit, and we only prophesy bit by bit. But when the perfect comes, the imperfect will be superseded. 1 Corinthians 13:8-10. Benediction. The door opened before me because of thy coming in the likeness of our Father. Everything shone with life as I understood thee, O blessed one. The ground on which I stood thrilled me because of thee, and everywhere dumb nature revealed thy presence, thy touch everywhere revealed thy nature, and I sank into thy perfume of bliss, O blessed one. I beheld thy sanctuary hidden within the silence of my soul, and upon thy altar of sacredness plays thy fountain of joy, O blessed one. With my heart full of love, I catch and drink thy living water, then I know I need thirst no more, O blessed one. My peace and my love remain with you. Yours very sincerely, Murdo MacDonald-Bayne.